Not very often that I'm up literally rubbing the sleep out of my out of my eyes to to discuss some Call of Duty. It's not very often this time of the morning we get a big fat announcement like that. Call of Duty League PC plus controller. Call of Duty Challengers crossplay. They're loving these little videos right now, by the way, aren't they? This is huge. I'd say that, well, maybe not bigger than the 4v4 thing. However, this is interesting to say the least. Let's run through what they've said, because there's some more stuff to this as well. Let's not get it twisted. Today, September the 14th, 2020 marks the official start date of the 2021 season of the Call of Duty League. For the players who have not had the extensions option, okay, we don't need it. We don't need to look at that, right? Let's look at the important shit. Platform transition. Today, the league is announcing it will have pro team competition to PC controller beginning with the 2021 season. This means that all pro matches will be played on PC, and all pro players must use a league-approved controller of their choice. As part of this transition, Call of Duty League competition will maintain exclusive use of controllers for the upcoming season. This change provides players with expanded choice of controller, allowing them to select the league-appropriate controller style that works best for their game. More details and rules pertaining to peripherals will be released at a future date. We'll dive into it in a second because there's this as well. Call of Duty Challengers goes crossplay. For the first time in Call of Duty Esports history, competitors will be able to compete online in Call of Duty Challengers on their platform of choice across console and PC. We will continue to test platform hardware and make restrictions if necessary. Bear that in mind. Players are required to use controllers. Mouse and keyboard peripherals will not be allowed. Any LAN Challenger event that takes place during the season, it won't, will be played on PC. Competitors may plug in their league-approved controller of choice. More information to changes to challenges, including rules, regulations, and how League will monitor competition, will be revealed in the coming weeks. We'll bounce into dedicated challenger broadcasts in a bit. Let's delve into it then, because this is huge. It's been rumored for quite some time. As soon as crossplay came in, as soon as Modern Warfare was released and crossplay was known to be a thing, it has been talked about being on PC and being on controller on PC. Now, for me, this is a good move. For what, make the game look better from all aspects. I know that everything was sort of ran through PC in terms of spectators, etc. But it looks better in terms of how people are using the game and how everyone's playing it. People are streaming, etc., etc. And you move into an area where you can have more people included. There might be people who are out there who didn't have a PlayStation and couldn't compete. Now they can. I mean, for the pro side of things, it doesn't really change a great deal because all the pros can afford a very, very good PC. It changes very little. If anything, if I'm honest. The game runs better typically for Modern Warfare on PC. I started playing on PC when I started playing, got myself a PC and downloaded Warzone when it was free, so I made sure that I transitioned over, and I much prefer playing on PC. It's so much smoother. I can't speak for the PS5 and of course the Xbox One Series X when that comes out, how smooth that will be, but typically PCs run the game smoother, and we're going to delve into it a little bit in a second as well. You don't need a battleship to play Call of Duty at a decent FPS. That's what you're looking at. I think a lot of people are getting stressed out about that, but let's move into some reasons as to why I don't think that in a second. But overall, I think this is a very, very good move. It's more inclusive. More people can now compete, and it isn't limited to a certain console, which is nice to see. Let's move into it then. Let's move into what some of the pros have been saying. I mean, this is the main thread I picked up on. And another good reason, Blast is very, very right. PC Plus controller, 280 Hz, 128 tick. Servers, usually better on the PC side of things as well, and more frames for everybody. Honestly, most people are going to be investing in a very good monitor, other than a good PC, I would say. Although you already all have that anyway. Silly though is saying you're hilarious. I can however many percentage guarantee we're going to be super, super capped. Blast, what's the point in switching if I have to cap a 60 FPS? Pause feature, we at least get 60 FPS and good service. So I think there will be a cap. I don't think it'll be at 60 though. I think the next gen consoles coming in are going to be running at a fairly high rate. I think it was 120. So realistically, looking at that sort of area, but I'd imagine they'll cap it at 144. I don't see any reason why that wouldn't be the case, but I mean, this is all speculation out of my ass. But switching to PC for the pause feature, if that is the case, then that's a huge bonus instantly. the fact that it will be switching over to that one. But the people that shouldn't, I mean, pros shouldn't really be worrying about this by any sense of the imagination. It's a good thing for them. They can all afford 2080s and 3090s and all that shit. 2080s, what year am I in? 3090s, yeah. I mean, they're super expensive, but you can get a hold of one of them and run the game. But we're going to go into some settings and stuff very, very shortly as well. But just looking at what Magcat was saying here as well, obviously a very seasoned European pro. I am not so much worried about this. Going to cost a bag to play CoD, youngsters on the floor begging for an early Christmas present. I don't think it's going to be that bad. I'm seeing a lot of people stress about it, saying I'm going to have to spend 1,500 quid on a PC. For one, if you're not at the very top, I wouldn't bother. And also, I don't really think you need it. I mean, look, let's. This is for Modern Warfare. I just went on the Activision website and just said, okay, well, what sort of specifications are we looking at? If we're looking at a Cold War, it's not going to be that much more intensive than Modern Warfare is it? Let's be honest. But, I mean, if you can't see this shit, let's try and zoom in again. This was hilarious the other day. So the minimum you are going to need to run the game, and this will be... It'll look dog shit. But a GTX 670, an i3, 8 gig of RAM. Let's be honest, nobody's going to be wanting to run this shit. Recommended specifications. So this is, bear in mind, disclaimer, this is for Modern Warfare, so, you know, take it with a pinch of salt. And I'd imagine it'll be relatively similar. Here are the recommended specs to run at 60 FPS in most situations with all options set to medium. This is the thing with PC, you can toggle the graphics. You can whack that bitch low. Put it low, and you just look for frames. What all CS players, they don't play on the highest ultra graphic settings. They're playing on something that gives them the highest FPS, and that's what you're going to be doing for your PC. If you have a PC now with this, you should be fine. With this bit, this one here. Just realised I'm doing it through Rob's, idiot. A GeForce GTX 970, 12 gig of RAM, an i5. That's nothing. This would cost you 600, if that, £600. About probably in and around the same as what a PS5 is going to cost you. And bear it in mind, the PS5 will probably be better than that. So the field of view thing's obviously an option, and I'm interested to see what settings you're going to have on the PlayStation 5, and it does depend on a lot of things. But I think everyone's sort of stressing out that you're going to need, look, shit, you don't need this. You don't need that. You don't need 16 gig of RAM, an i7, a GT. This is what I've got. I've got a 2080 with more RAM than that, and I've got that exact processor. I can run on Ultra. That's fine. But at the same time, you don't need to. You're looking for frames. If you're looking for frames, high FPS is what you're looking at. A 1080 or a 2070. This is going to cost you maybe $1,000, I would say. So I think everyone's maybe stressing out a little bit about that one, but that's the PC talk. I honestly would not be stressing too much if I was everybody who's trying to play this game this year. Even from the challenger side of things, you don't need to go crazy. Yes, okay, let's be honest. Spending that much money on a PC is still a lot of money for a lot of people. Spending £500 on a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox One series is still a lot of money. However, at the same time, I don't think everyone is being realistic here. You can run this, you'll be able to run this game on something that isn't that intensive. You do not need to spend 1,500 to £2,000 on a PC right now. If you're a pro, if you're a CoD player and you want to get involved, especially in the challenger side of things, pros do not need to worry about that. People will disagree with me, but I just don't see a world where you have to have that. Anyway, we'll move on. This is the one that I was really excited about, and I've been sending emails this morning, but dedicated challenger broadcast. During the inaugural season of the Call of Duty League, we introduced dedicated broadcasts throughout the 2020 Call of Duty Challenger season. For the 2021 season, we are planning to introduce new programs that will continue to spotlight top challengers' talent throughout the year. We're not ready to share specific details on this yet, but we will be releasing more information to the coming weeks. I hope to God that this is a specific show for each region. I would love to see a ladder from the top teams, a case of qualification to get in here like every, split, so maybe every couple of months, or every month. No, maybe not every month, but every couple of months where it's a split, you have to get in the league, you then perform at a high level, and then it goes into a playoff, etc., etc. There's relegation. That sort of shit is what I would like to see in terms of like what we had with the Pro League before franchising came in, because we're never going to have that with it now because it's franchising, so they're obviously not going to waste their money, are they? They're not going to want to put like 25 million, whatever the fuck it was, to then get battered by challenger teams, so we're going to have something. And I hope it's basically Pro League, but a level down. That is what I'm hoping for. And I would also, with it being online, like to see dedicated broadcasts for each region. APAC, Europe, North America. That's what you want to see. North America to be covered by North American talent and North American tournament organizations. Europe to be covered by European talent, by European tournament organizations. APAC to be covered by, I mean, I don't know how many APAC casters there are still really around at the moment. Get bioacid out of out of retirement. Maybe send Miles back. No, don't do that. Keep Miles. I just think you automatically have a broadcast for each and every region. It doesn't cost very much. I know it's really not that much in the grand scheme of things. 25 million a spot. It's not that much. You could do it in every single region. You could have dedicated broadcasts. You can build storylines for every single region with casters who know the teams, with casters who know the game in each region. And then you have talent trying, I mean, look, this is me getting to my talent side of things, but honestly, you want that for the dedicated Challengers broadcast because every single team who are in there are going to get exposure. Doesn't cost that much money. It's positive news. We'll end it there because we actually don't really have that much information, but overall, great announcement. Really love to see that one. Let me know what you think about the changeover. Let me know whether you agree or disagree about the whole spec side of things. I honestly don't think you need to drop a bomb on a PC, and at the same time, a PS5 is probably going to set you back less than a PC that would run in at the same sort of spec. So, realistically, I don't think it changes a great deal for a load of people. Top end, yes, okay, you're going to have to spend some money if you really are going to compete. I think, you know, connections are going to be mostly the thing that we're going to be looking at as per usual for a typical online kind of league. However, when it comes down to FPS, you could run this realistically on something that isn't going to cost you that much money. And you should be invested in a really good monitor. Anyway, I'm interested to see how it comes out, if there is going to be more announcements very, very shortly, but the CoD League are doing things right 4v4. Right decision in the end, although it did cause a bit of a ruckus. And of course, this one is, again, the very much right decision and direction to go in. And just a small caveat, I've seen a couple of people saying, oh, do you think you'll ever move to keyboard and mouse? I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think we'll stay with controller. And even if it did, I'd be interested to see what would happen, because, you know, you see a lot of keyboard and mouse controllers in Warzone right now complaining about auto aim, etc., etc. So I don't know. I think we'd stay controller. I think it's the roots of Call of Duty. I don't think you move away from those roots. That'll do it. Let me know what you think below. Give it a like on the video as well if you could. Subscribe if you have not. If you enjoyed the video, thank you very much. We'll be back with more content this week. Thank God something's happened, because I was sitting there, I was like, Jesus, what am I going to talk about? We had something to talk about. We'll see you for the next video.